What's up, everybody? This is Josh with Music Lesson here. Got another video for you today. Today we're going to talk about the parts of your guitar. Okay, so let's jump right into that. Here we go. Alright, now we're back and we're going to talk about the parts of the guitar. Of course, this is an electric. Okay, so electric is going to have, let's start by the differences. Start with the differences. The electric is going to have some electronics, obviously, and some pickups on it. Okay, you can see these guitar pickups right here and right here. Okay, and you can see these electronics, which are controlled by the potentiometers and the knobs, so on and so forth. Potentiometers are actually the things that change the levels inside of there. These are just the knobs that sit on top of the potentiometers. Okay, then we have the switch here that controls which pickup you're actually playing. Okay, and that's one of the things. And then on electric guitars, you can have something called a tremolo. Okay, that deals with the bridge. Okay, so those are the things that are pretty much different across all electric guitars and acoustic guitars. But again, everything else is pretty much the same. Okay, and let's talk about those parts right now. So let's start at the top. As you'll see the graphic, I'm believing that this is going to go up on my article on parts of the guitar. Okay, so let's talk about the graphic here. Okay, and the graphic, you're going to talk about the headstock first. You start from the top. This is the headstock. Okay, this area is the headstock. Okay, on the headstock are a few things. Okay, as you can see, we've got the tuning machines. Okay, and on each side. Okay, this is a 3x3, which you'll see on acoustic guitars as well as electric guitars. Electric guitars, you will also find the what's called the straight inline, where there's 6 in a row. Okay, but in this one you got your 3x3, just like your acoustic or your nylon string / classical acoustic. Okay, so these are the tuning machines. Let's look at the back. Okay, you can see where the gears are encased inside here. Sometimes they're external. Nylon strings do that a lot. They have external gears where you'll see them move. Okay, and then we have here the top of the tuners. Now here we have the nut. Okay, this is important because this is where the string stops. Okay, string stops right here. Okay, and there's slots cut where the strings go through. Okay, of course we have our 6 strings right here as well. Okay, coming up further, you're going to see the fretboard. Okay, and this whole area here, fretboard sits atop the neck. This whole area here, all the way down, okay, is the neck. Okay, where it enters the body, and the neck actually goes a little bit into the body too. Okay, but that's the neck. Now here's the back of the neck. Okay, back of the neck in this case is maple. Okay, different color than the fretboard. Now if we turn it sideways, you're going to see. Let me get that straight. You're going to see that there's the fingerboard, which is made in this case of rosewood. Okay, and then you're going to see the rest of the neck. Now the whole thing is the neck. The fingerboard sits on top of it. Okay, but it is a separate piece of wood technically. Now on top of the neck sit the frets, and that's made of steel fret wire. Okay, this is fret wire. All right. Of course, obviously, as we talk about guitars, when you say play the first fret, it means the space between the nut or the previous fret and the next fret. So that's your first fret right there. Okay, first fret, second fret, third fret, so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Now coming further down here, you can see that we come into the body of the guitar. Now the body of the guitar is this just piece of wood right here, right? In an acoustic guitar's case, there's actually 2 pieces of wood on top of each other with a noticeable separation in size where there's wood between them, and there's an open cavity in the middle. Okay, that's the same for nylon string and acoustic guitars. Okay, so right here now we come to the body. In this case, it's a solid piece of wood for an electric guitar. All right. So that's the difference between acoustics and electrics. Normally, you can have semi-hollow or hollow-bodied electrics. Very common, in fact. A lot of jazz players use it. Blues players like it a lot too. So that's very common to have an acoustic or semi-acoustic or hollow body. I'm sorry, not acoustic, semi-acoustic. Hollow body or semi-hollow body guitar. Okay, so that's a couple of things that they can share there. But of course, electrics will have some type of electronics built into it. Okay, so as we come down here, here's the back of the guitar. Now notice, because of my tremolo cavity, I've got this no back plate on here. Okay, I keep it open just in case I want to make some adjustments to it. Okay. No backplate. Now, if you have a tremolo, you've got what's called a tremolo block here. Okay, so that's tremolo block. Your springs, which attach to a claw, which are held in place by screws. Okay, this serves as a balancing act, tension-wise, between the strings up top and the springs in the back. Okay, so there's a tension balancing act going on here attached to the tremolo, where the strings go into these 6 holes, if you can see that right there. Okay, and they go into there and then come out here and then come across. Now, on an acoustic, you will have a bridge that sits on the body of the guitar 99.9% of the time. Okay, and what's going to happen there is not unlike this, but constructed slightly differently. On an acoustic guitar or acoustic electric, it'll sit on top of the guitar and it'll have like a bone saddle or like a plastic saddle or something like that. That's basically a strip that comes across here. The strings sit on top of it and come across. Okay? As opposed to right now, where I have the strings coming through this metal plate here, which is my tremolo, and they come up and come across, and they come across these. These are saddles, but they're individual saddles, unlike the saddle on an acoustic guitar, which is normally, it can be split into 2 sometimes, but normally they're one piece of bone or yes, bone, not anything strange, but they're bone, or plastic, or what's the other one, tusk, something like that, that can be as well. Okay, and these are saddles. This plate is the actual bridge itself. Notice there's some screws that hold this bridge in place. Okay, that's a 6-point tremolo. There are things called 2-point tremolos where they just have 2 posts right here that hold the tremolo in place. Okay. Okay, next up we have the button. Okay, well, not button, I'm sorry. Thinking of a slightly different instrument. Strap button technically. Right now I have strap locks, okay? And then the other one over here, you'll have that on acoustic and electrics. And then here we have our input, okay? This is where you put your 1/4 inch in, okay? And this actually plugs into your amplifier and sends your signal to the amplifier so that you can make more sound, okay? Okay, one more thing I want to talk about as well is the control cavity. This has been carved out so that you can get in and work on your electronics if you need to, okay? All right, and those are all the parts of your guitar. You can have different things, like you can have a bolt-on back, you can have a set neck, you can have a neck through. There's different things depending on the type of guitar. You can have humbucker pickups like these, which are 2 single coils side by side, or you can have just 3 single coils. Right, so those are different parts of your guitar.